Hello, good afternoon. The calm before the storm, they say. Well, I know there's not many people at the moment here, but that's cool because we've got time. Alexa, Alexa, lower please. Well, I've put a little shopping list there for you, but I don't know if you want to use it. You don't have to. It's just I've got my paints there. I've got some handmade paints there. I've got my core. I've got my Sennelier, Paul Rubens, which I've put all these in the list for you. Um, it's an affiliate. Excuse me, it's an affiliate link. So you choose what you want to do. Um, if you want to use it, please do. If you don't, you don't have to. It's just if you click on it, then I think I get a tenner for everything that I sell. Sounds awful, but it's true. I'm not going to fib to anybody. So I'm going to do something really calming today. Really calming, and really sort of let's just chill. So I've got some watercolour paper. I've actually got some offcuts as well. I do know people aren't going to be watching because they're going to be out stressing. So these are offcuts. Some have got texture on as well, which is great. But I just want simple sizes. Is that off me? No. I want simple sizes that I can just look at. I think, right, okay. Or the other thing you can do is use a whole page and divide that up if you wish. So it's entirely up to you. I don't know how many more people are going to get. I'm normally late a little bit, so I'm going to be responsible and say, yeah, my fault. We should have more people here, but so I need to put some more lead in my pencil, so they say. But there's no lead in your pencil, so I'm just going to put a new one in. The only problem is you get manky dirty with this, so this is the bit that I'm just going to put my lead in. But there's no lead in your pencil. Graphite, but no lead. Alright, so that should be enough. Oh wait, they're fighting to get out now. Blooming heck. Smashing it all. Oh, come on now. Stop all this messing. Right. It's giving people time to come on if they wish. And a great good morning to you. Afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the hemisphere. Yeah, have I done it? Yes! Manky hands. So, right. Oh, look at the t-shirt. Is that blue? No, it's not. Anyway, so very dark here in the UK. If I put lights on it, just looks atrocious, so I'm not going to. So yeah, really calm and collected today. I quite like the shape of this, so I'm just going to put this up. I'm going to do quite a few today. Let's sit and do like pieces of work that perhaps you could give as presents or even sell if you wish. They're quite nice presents. I'm just looking at the sizes and think, right, would that look nice that size? Would that look nice that size? And I'm just going for it. I'm not particularly trying to get them. Well, they have to be straight, but I'm not looking at, absolutely down the middle. My things need oh gosh, I can't get it much better. So the blades need sorting. But they will do from time to time. So I'm cutting a load, so we're going to do quite a few today. Cutting a load of them. and it's all going to be colour, colour, colour. If I can do more, I can do more. If I don't, I don't. But all I've got is lots of pieces of watercolour, and I've got some spares as well. So if I wish to do it, I mean, this is practice paper, which it makes me laugh at because it's such nice quality, but it's from the SAA. So I'm going to do a series of 3 today, maybe more. I'm going to look at a picture that I want to do, and the shape. I'm going to go from there. So remember, when you're using a pencil, that anything underneath watercolour will be trapped, like putting a layer on it. So if you wish to make a shape on here, you remember that that shape is going to stay there. Okay, so I'm going to go with the large oval just to show you the difference, and always have more weight at the bottom. Very light. Okay, very, very light. So I'll go with a large circle. And to me, a circle really fits nicely with a square. But this isn't, you know, I'm not saying that this is the be all and end all. This is just some shapes to get you a little bit of an idea of, you know, what to me will work and what doesn't work with me. That doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means that I'm drawn towards that shape. Here I'm going to use one of my paint palettes. So I prefer that side, slightly bigger. So this is AU is all gold. So I've got 3 different shapes. So we're going to do 3 different sort of pieces. But it's amazing that we have these shapes around us that we're like, whoa, well, forgot about that. Oh, forgot about that. So in here, I'm going to put some colour. So I've put on the shopping list, as you want to call it, is my go-to brushes, and I've got the mops on there for you, so you'll see brushes like this. I really do love them because that end comes to a fine tip, but all that water is kept in here. But it comes, so the paint has a reservoir which is longer, which is really good for when you're painting. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing there. I've just flicked everybody off, but never mind. So in here, I'm just going to add within the shape. I'm trying my best in this dark hole, which is awful today. The 80-mile-an-hour winds and goodness knows. So I've put the first one, I'm letting it soak in. Okay, I'm going to do all of them like that. I'm staying away from the water line just in case I can rub it out, or I want to. I may not want to. Got a piece of linen stuck there. Well, fluff. Now, if you've got a line that you haven't rubbed out, don't be worried, because that is really easy. You put a dark line on it. So what happens is the paper, and this is the Daler and Rownley paper and some practice paper from the SAA. You look at it and you can see, I'll put it on its side so you can see. I've took the autofocus off, so I hope it's better. Can you see the glisten? Yeah. You don't want it running, but you've got that glaze. Sorry about the noise. It's the wind blowing the trees on the windows. And there again, you've got it there. And there's a bit less on this, just to show you a difference. So I'm going to go with different sorts of colours. Okay. So I'm going to go with some muted colours, which is the muted range from, this is Talent. So I'm going to drop in some green. That's way too dark for that, but I do want a little bit of it in the other areas. So yeah, that's great for that's perfect for shades and stuff and adding shades, but for what we want, maybe not everything. So I'm adding different elements of that colour. Then I'm looking at my colours and I'm thinking, right, I need to combat that with, and the colours are already chosen for you. So putting a bit of turquoise in. Now bear in mind that watercolours dry are half again lighter. So whatever you see here will dry lighter. So I'm really leaving it like that. Then what I'm going to do is get a clean, a dryish brush and just use the edge of the brush to allow the colours to mingle. And if I've got like a bit of overspill, just bring it out so it looks like it's intentional. Add a little bit of dark around the edge. There, that's done. Okay. I want to take a little bit off. So clean my brush. And now I've used it like an eraser. That's better. Can you see it's lighter? And again, clean your brush off. Let your colours mingle. And use your brush to take that colour off. You don't want it to overpower what you're doing. So we've got three there, three different patterns. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to do some more while we're waiting. So we've got earthy colours there. So we've got a couple more. Do these in these shapes. I'm going to go more of a natural, au natural. So what I'm going to do is more of a, I'll show you. I wouldn't normally write on these, draw on them. What I would normally do is leave the pencil out, but because you can't see it, so I would normally go for straightish. Do you get me? So I'm going to aim for that with the water only. So clean water. I've got a little bit of green on it. I'm not too worried because I can wipe it off. That's not cleaning my brush. Oh, I've not even said hello to people. Blooming heck. Oh, morning, Luke. Morning, Ellen. Oh, hi, Angela. I'm so sorry. I've completely forgot. Hi, Jenny. Watching on the big telly, oh, you poor woman. Beverly, hello. Now, I'm not seeing a lot of Facebook users, but if I swap over to my... No, I can't swap over because if I do, it'll end my stream. So I'm semi-wet there. I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to get the smaller brush so I can add smaller colours. So I'm going to go with a... Got yarn on the bottom of my... It's been caught because it's all done with wire. It's been caught in there. It's annoying me. So I just... Oh, look at that. Can't waste that because it's beautiful colour. So I'm going to go wet into dry. Just put that colour down. I'm going to take some of that off. some colours are powerful. You can't get away from them being powerful, but don't let that put you off, because they're fantastic as a base. So I've got that there. I'm going to pull that. Okay, and I'm going to go in with a bluer one now. Oh, so you need water. So I personally prefer doing it this way. I tend to have more of a layers thing going on with myself, rather than trying to draw in a paint in a line. But that's just how I choose to do it. Don't mean it's right, just choices. So here I'm freer with the line. I'm going to take some of that colour off. And if you don't like a colour and you're not happy with how it's going, take a print from it without getting water on it. Hang on, let me just dry that. There we go. From the print, I dragged the print, but I've got a base now, another colour. So you never waste out. Like there, don't ever worry, because if it's good watercolour paper, it'll come on. You see it's pretty light now. Right, what you need to do is make sure they're dry, because we have layers of colour and it won't lay off if it's wet. While we're waiting, I want to show you a really neat trick. I think it was David Pixon that I saw it from. And I've got a pipette. Take the edge off. Get a clean piece of paper, watercolour paper, and just drop colour on. I can see that. Right, I'm going to bring you right down. Can you all see that? Yeah? And then you get a fine brush. And this is where you need to sort of pretty load up your colour. And you're just going to go and touch it inside. Now I'm making it into an oval. You don't have to. So let's go with a pink. The more colour you put in, the more of a wonderful shape you get at the end. So I'm allowing the colour to be pushed into the changing the shape. So I'm pushing it into one side, then I'm going to get the other colour. Push it into the other side. You get a wonderful technique with this. When it dries, it looks amazing. Just adding some green now. You may not see it, but you'll see it when it dries. I'll just show you now. Try and keep them round. When it dries, the water dries, you get this wonderful light teardrop pattern. It's fantastic. Different colours in it. So I'm bringing it rounder. Leave that to dry, you get these wonderful patterns. It's already moving there. You can bring it rounder. Like that. Okay, and leave that to dry. Because I love those patterns, but you can make your splats with them and everything. But yeah, I saw that, and it's a really cool little trick. So anyway, let's look at these now. So look how light these have gone. So we want to sort of build on the colour and shape and pattern. So let's go first with these. So if I get that, and opposite these colours would be an orange and a red. So I'm going to drop those colours in, and just a little bit. I'm going to put a tiny bit in there. And this is red oxide, and I'm blending it on. I'll show you the colours, it makes life easier. Quinacridone gold and red oxide, iron red oxide, and this is quinacridone. So I'm using it dry. Just introducing a little bit of colour, top and bottom, and here it'll be on the side, so a little bit more there, a little bit more on here. I'm just putting 3 on because I want to even it up. I'm adding clean water to my brush and softening it. There I'm just bleeding the edge through. So with this again, I'm using a clean water and I'm just blending a little bit of the edge through. And again here, letting it move. Letting it move. If you want it strong, you can leave it like that. If you leave it to move, you get a fascinating little blend. So here I'm just wetting the edges, reactivating the colour and allowing the colour to move. So let's have a look at these here. So I think these could do with we've got turquoise on them. So maybe a yellow and orange. Even a yellow would look cool on these. Right. I'm going to see if my ochre is up to it. Yeah, it is. Only one bit to see how we go. This is an ochre colour. So I'm bleeding, letting it bleed again. I'm putting a paintbrush to the edge of it and just allowing the I quite like this, so I'm going to allow it to bleed a little bit more. So we've got that there. Might take some off actually by adding another colour. There we go, that's quite nice. So I'll take some of that off and add a bit of it there with the yellow and the pink. There we go. So it's really surprising how colours can make a huge difference. Right, so I quite like that. They're not done yet, they won't be yet, but you know, I like the idea of adding those bright colours. So I've got a liner brush now, and I'm just going to look for anything I need to do to it. Okay, so I'm quite happy with this one. I'm just going to soften the edges though. So I've got a wet paintbrush going around the edge, and it's like a fade. So anybody who knows what a fade in hairdressing is, this is what a fade is. You sort of bring in your paintbrush to the edge and softening that colour. And it sort of vintages it. Vintages. Is that a word? So I'll do it here again. So clean brush. Clean brush. And what this, it also splits your colour up. So if you've got two colours there, you might see all the colours bleeding out. I prefer it softer, but you know, you might want a nice clean line. Right, do it wrong way. So what you have to do is you're basically wetting the paint and the paper and letting it bleed. And if you've got good watercolour paper, it won't really matter how long you leave it. It'll still let it bleed a little bit. If you want more of this, then you keep going over. Okay, it does soften it up. If you look at that in comparison, you can see there's a softer line. So I'm going to do a couple of these, but not all of them. I'm going to just do it quite quickly. A little bit more. No, it's fairly okay. I'm not happy. I've got to go out in a bit. I don't want to, but I've got to. Okay, so we've got lots of different like little things going on. Absolutely love them. They're just going to dry. Now these are called cauliflowers or granulations, and that means where wet and dry go together. Oh, hello, Shay. Hello, Shane. Oh, is that Denise with Annabelle? Right, just dry it off. And remember, just because the front looks dry doesn't mean it's dry because the fiber's inside. You know, it's a bit like cheese. You know, when you look at cheese and it sort of looks like it's not melted on the top, so it has in the middle. It looks like it's firm on top, but it's still messy in the middle. That's what it's like with paper. So you must dry both ways. Not only that, it helps to straighten up the paper. If you dry, like if you dry one, can you see? Now I dry it, pushes it back down. Thank you, Jane. Right, so this is great for photographs as well. Now the bit there I don't like, rub it off. Over that away for Annabelle. Right, okay. All I've got now is I could go on forever doing this little trick, honestly. I'm going to bring it right down so you can see. All I do now is I get a pen. I've got a black and a white pen. I mean, I've wet all these paints ready to do, and honestly, it takes minutes. So I've got my Reuben paints as well. So these are my paints that my lovely ladies bought about 3 years ago when I had that awful, horrible, whatever was going on. You see colours now? drying. If I hadn't moved it, you get an impact mark as well. But I love the little sections. I've got to do that though. Look, sorry. Get the pattern on the paper. Oh, you can't see it. Hang on. See it? I'm going to put this now. This has got a product on it. I'm not too sure what it is. I think it might be either gesso or it could be absorbent board. Oh. Oh, is it? You know what I mean? These textures are amazing, aren't they? So, anyway, what I've got are these. Now, I'm using quite big GSM. I think I'm using, even that one's nice, so isn't it? I'm using something like £140. So, something like a 300. Oh, look at this, what I've got. The old Vaseline wear. Carnival wear. That's not Vaseline, sorry, it's Carnival wear. But yeah, I've got my paintbrushes in that. I just needed to channel my mum today. I collect stuff like this. I collect stuff from the 20s and 30s. I love it. I love it. I think it's an illness with it. Right, oh, where have you gone now? Come on, I had you all sorted. Get back here, you. Get back here, Shep. Come on. Right. I am so sorry. I was all organised. I seriously was as well. Right, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, just to show you, this is what I buy as well. Empty packet, empty pallets, and I put my own colours in because some of the colours don't always come in pans. They come in tubes, so I need. There they are. I need the tube colours, you see. So all I do is get the tubes. I put a tiny magnet in the bottom of these. Put a tiny magnet in it and then fill it, and it's great. And these are half pans. You can get quarter pans, you get half pans. I didn't put them on my page because I didn't think you'd want to know, but you can get them. And there's a little, let me show. Oh, here we go. There's a little magnet, smaller than these. These are too big. A little magnet that you can get. So you put that. Let me show you what I mean. You get your half pan or your full pan. Right, you put your stuff, you put that in there like that. Fill, fill, fill. You've got that there. Well, it's metal, it won't matter, will it? So that now, see, it won't come out because that's there. So, and then I just keep filling it. So there you go, in and out. It's a great way of keeping your all your stuff right. Because I mean, I've always used them, as you know. You see the messy stuff I put in, but yeah, you know, you've seen me use them all the time. I love being able to use my own colours. Right, here we go. We're going to do some drawing. Back to moodling. Let's get moodle. Let's get moodle. Sorry, just ignore me. Oh, palette. So here I've got some fine brushes, some fine pens, some white pens, some black pens, and my bleed proof ink. Okay. So my bleed proof ink is Dr. P.H. Martin's. I've got gold and silver paint. So let's just settle. Oh, yes, it's 3 years already. Crazy, isn't it? So I'm looking at these. And I'm not going anywhere. So why have I lost one? Right, come on. It's got to be here somewhere, hasn't it? I've not been anywhere. Oh, it's there. Right, okay. So I'm looking at these now. What, a set of 3. I'm doing a present for somebody. Well, I'm not, but could be doing a present for somebody. So now I want to sort of make these the artwork. So the shape of the background really makes an impression on what choices I make for the pattern on top. So this is long and thin. Maybe a rounder shape would look better here. This is round, so maybe a longer and thin. So yeah, make your choices according to your. Is this a number 2? Yeah, going with the number 2 first, just to get me going. And the same with these. These, you know, any shape will go on these. So I'm going to do. You could always do pencil work first, and I think it might be easier for you to see with pencil. So I'm going to look at a shape. Quite like that there. Okay, so I quite like that shape. I'm going to look at another one. It doesn't have to be over it, it can be in the middle. So what I mean by that is, I mean, I could do a that sort of shape. Next one. That sort of shape. So we've got 3 distinct shapes. Okay, so let's go with a bit of simple work. So we've done our first line over it. All peace and happiness to you as well. So just put the centre line. So I've got different shapes there, okay? And then and you can't see this pattern yet, but you will do. So in these, I'm going to write, not write, but so I've got a lovely pattern coming through, a lovely leaf shape. That's quite nice as it is, but what I need to do is leave it to cure. So we look at this one, and I'm going to do a shape on one side, and I really like that shape. So I'm just doing lots more of it, but I'm trying not to be too regimented with it. And then on this side, I've just gonna put a little flick on it. And because I've done it in pencil, I can rub out what I don't want. So there's another one. Let's go to this one. And I've done it to fit change the shape slightly so it doesn't look so, well, we know what. So back to my own little 3. Dots just to bring it in a little bit. So I'll leave that one there. So we've got these 3 that look a bit dodgy, but they won't in a minute. Now I'm going to look at maybe these as well. Let's go to these purpley greeny ones and we'll see what we can put in here. So I might do, just for sake, I might change these patterns and I might go to leaves or okay. So if we start, we'll go with a pencil, a big V, and then you know where your leaves are because that'll be the middle or the edge or whatever you want. So that's like a big loop. Okay, so we're ignoring the background and we're taking it further. That's another one. Little sketchbook over there. So we start with that line again. Corner to corner is a really good line because it gives you structure across it. So you've got a nice, you know, where you're going and what it's going to look like. The weight's going to be a bit better. So, but then if you're a bit worried about how the shape is, if you just put yourself a guideline on that you can rub out, then it does help you to work it out. So then again with the V, I'm using pen, and I could tell you now the paper's not wet, not dry. So it's taken a pen, you see. So you know what the essence of the story is. Dry your blooming brushes, your paint papers. So there's another one done. No, they're not done. By no means are they done, but they will be. These are just the backbones of them. So you know, these are just like what you can do yourself when you've. So here we're going to do it. Like a dot and a line, a dot and a line, yeah. And then maybe uh, just to put like a little flour in it. So let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so let's go back to these now. Hopefully I've got a little bit of a rubber. Any extra line will be sort of gone. I'm just going to colour some of these in. And create more of an edge and a design throughout, so it's the pattern. You can see the pattern happening over it. Again, I'll darken a lot of these because they do need it. And then I'm just doing lines and zigzag lines in it. You can colour it in if you wish. And then you can see these lines. I'm going to leave fainter because I don't want them to be overpowering the whole thing. Let's go to this. We'll make it similar. Now I'm colouring some in, but not heavily. Like that. Leaving some lighter as well. Now there is a bit of a line there, so stops it looking quite as genital. Right, so here I really like these. These are soft and colour floats around, so I'm just going to soften them up. Put some nice little detail in them by putting a little line there. And then it helps me to soften the line I've got already on it. Because some of them are a bit wishy-washy. But I don't mind wishy-washy and lines because I just think it adds to it. It's going to be really, the calm before the storm. Everybody's Christmas. We don't really celebrate it. So ours is a family get together over the weekend and that's it. At Boxing Day I'm on TV for 3 hours. Looks like no one else they couldn't get anybody else, doesn't it? But I'm doing Sennelier, Montana, Golden, and I'm working with Leone and Paola. So I'm very happy. So I'm going to hopefully get some furniture done. Got some new stencils. So I'm hoping that you like them. Just going to do smaller versions here, only because I think it helps to bring it back to a shape. So there we've got that, but I did not want the outline of the shape at the edges, did I? I didn't want that. Was just a guideline so that we could see where we were going to. So now we've got rid of it. It looks a lot neater now, doesn't it? And then we'll do the flower. So we'll do I've been watching Tabitha Takes Over. Because before I was this, an hairdresser. And it just strikes home because it makes me laugh. I'd have to retrain now. But yeah. Right, so we've got little lumps in the middle, or bumps, or little stamens, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to put some flicks of line or some leaves. See, that looks like I've made a bit of a, because I've gone over that line. So what I'm going to do is just extend that pattern so it moves across. Here I don't really need one, there. I've got one in there. Here I've got another one that maybe, I don't like that one. Extend the pattern, no, it's fine. Extend that pattern, no, it's fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a black and a white pen, or a little bit of, to me, a little bit of, like, not glitter, but a bit of glitz on it. And I think this is, to me, it's the way to go. Got to add this to it. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. So I'm just going to add some colour. Now, you might have these sort of golds and stuff and silvers. That's cool. You might have the Rubens, which are there. But I'm just going to choose some colours and I'm going to go for it. So there isn't a lot of colour. But I'm going to try and just put, say, things that I know you'll have at home. So I'm going to go with a little bit of the orangey gold. And I'll bring this up close. So I'm not trying to go over the black. Okay, so that's number one done. It needs white on it. Needs white at the moment. So let's go with this here. So I'm looking at this and I love that colour. So I'm looking at maybe bronze or a light gold. So let's pick up a bit of bronze. Now I've not awoke these yet, so they might be a little bit tired. Okay, I really like that, but I still think it needs to be lighter. So what I would do is drop some gold in it while it's still light. Okay. Now this one. Right, okay. I think again, this coppery colour. Now what you can do is go back over with a black pen when you've done these and then outline these, and that looks cool. So we've got a little bit of copper on there. So we've got that one, and that one. Next is this one. So I need some light on here because we've got some quite dark areas. So I'm gonna come in with a gold to lift this area. Okay, so I don't really Don't want too much. I'm happy with that. See, this is all layers and building on, so you won't feel that they're done quite yet. But you know, it's all about the layers and textures and all sorts when you're doing it. So I'm going to put on some copper, which works really well with these because it's just a tiny bit of colour. See that fire on it already. And then we've got the big one, which is maybe, what I could do is show you what it looks like with a, you know, a metallic on it, not just gold and silver, but a colour. So here I'm going for it's like Twilight Teaser, if anybody knows that. And it's a purple blue iridescent sort of colour. Used to be a number 17 lipstick years ago. I think that's what it was called. So it's called Twilight Teaser. So if you've got that, and say you want nothing to stop you going back through your work and thinking, would it benefit anywhere? And yeah, it would. Well, don't be frightened to go back in and do little bits, because you know that might be just what it needs. Like that there looks better. That this is copper and that's not. So check how many I've done and how many I've got. Oh, here, this definitely down the middle. Give it a bit of a bleed on there. And this, I think, if I was to do it, I would do and it's hardly visible, but we know it's there. Right, okay, so the last bit before I pack everything away and go and bend my way through all these stupid things to go and get my prescriptions and stuff is to finish off with a white pen. Now this could be a silver or gold, any colour you wish, but it needs to be lighter than the pens you've already been working in. Okay, so just gonna tidy it all up, get it all back. So just going to move away some paint, because if I don't, I'll stick my elbow, my arm, or I'll sit in it, or you name it, do something. So I want to just tidy up my station. Right, okay, so I've got some here. I'm just hoping that this pen is the one that works. So probably not. I have got a few. Now I've also got a white pencil which would work if you've got a white pen. So I'm looking at this now, and I'm looking at that and thinking, right, what do we need here? And I need to bring out that line back. That's what I need to do. And the shape, I'm not too sure. You know, I don't think it's overpowering it, but I wouldn't choose that shape again for that leaf. It don't work for me. That leaf should have been a different shape for that. But it works nice. It's all right. Let's have a look at one of its sisters. You see the round shape is a difficult shape for me to work with. So if I make more of a thing about the shape, then it's about the shape and not the leaf. So leaving it washed out is a better idea. This is one of my favourite shapes because I think it works really well. So there's a couple of things we're going to do to these. I'm going to get my Fatties pen because it's just blooming easier. That ain't Fatties pen. Right. The things have all rubbed off. It's quite funny. You use pens that much that you rub off all and then put nibs on the wrong one. So here, there we go, just a tiny bit, not a lot. I don't need a lot. So I'm only going to do it on one side, just a little bit. We're actually making more of a, you know, defining this leaf shape. Any other parts that you think, yeah, they need colouring in, get it coloured in, and you'll see the impact is brilliant. Okay, so that's that one done. Do we need any thicker lines on this? No, although I think that needs to be done. And I think maybe these do as well. And less of them. Yeah, that's better. Then maybe this one. Yeah. See how I'm going back over to redefine those shapes. Like that. Much better now. Much better. I don't need to put things round them because I don't think you need to do it. Here I'm just going to go. And then, if you wish, go back round them. But I'm not too bothered about them. That's okay. That right. This one, this definitely needs more. It's quite a strong one. This. Okay. Let's get them all back again. I've gone round them, highlighted them. Yeah, I would put them in a frame, Caroline. I would put them in a frame on their own, just a small frame. So here, I'm just going to put in, she says. Here we go. It's got to be one that works out of all these. Let me just try it. And I've got a Posca pen as well. So far, isn't it? Sod's law. Oh, right, let's see. These should work. So I'm just breaking up that colour a little bit. Yeah. Now I quite like that, and I think what we could do with this one is get a very thin line. And draw that on it, which I think looks really nice. There you go. That's one done. A bit of white on it. Let's look at this now. This needs white. So a little bit of white on here. Not a lot, just to bring in that. See that shape? Don't do out for me on there. Neither does this shape. So, but I wanted to show you. So now that's white on it. Quite an impactful thing. Sometimes just tiny little bits of white, you can't see them, but they react so well to it. That's what you want. So just breaking it up with white, and I like that. And I like the fact that I can put frame around that one. And an L frame there. And even you could put an L frame around it outside, like that. And these, see, if I was to put a circle around that now, it wouldn't work for me. So that works better for me. Much better. And I think having these shapes is great, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, does it? You know, it just doesn't work. So I'm looking at these overall now, and I'll put, you know, maybe a piece of black behind it, or any colour, anything that's a little bit darker, and you get an overall look of it. So I'll put this behind it, even though it's not black. It's not pink, is it? But you know, let's go with this one. So we've got a little piece of art there. Right, so we've got that one, and that one. I'm just framing them on black so you can see them a little bit better. You know, and you see the different shapes, and then the little ones on squares, on a frame or within a frame. It looks so cool. And I'll show you these three together. Show you the impact. So I'll bring it up a little bit for you to see. So if I put these three together, because we've got a leaf, you could even have it that way if you wanted to flow. So we've got a leaf and a flower in the middle, and they sit really nice as a set of three. You know, really, really nice. So we've got a flower, and then we've got the two leaves or branches or whatever you want to call them. And they would, you know, depending if you wanted that, put another one from the top. You could have them going that way or change them around so that you know that the flow is, because they're diagonal, you know, you can do that. It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. But what I'm showing you is they match with the colour, but they also match in the way that they extend, and that one stays in the middle. So that's a successful set of three. I love these, and I love them for what they are, but I think they'd work, to me, maybe not as a three. Well, yeah, they would actually as a three, but I just want to show you that the circles and ovals, you have to want a specific shape for a design because then you know what's right for it. At the moment, try it all, try every pattern, try every shape. But I wanted to show you the overall idea of putting circles on it and squares and stuff together. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. The next time I'll see you is Christmas Day for an hour, as normal. Do you do watercolour on a stamping block? I'm not too sure what that means. I'm not too sure what that means. I do stamp with watercolours, yeah, if that's what you mean. But I don't know what on a stamping block. So yeah, these are little pieces of doodle moodles. Oh, lovely. No problem. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I can't thank you enough for your support over the years. I'm going to have to change next year because I'm going to have to go to some more paid classes and stuff. But, I'm looking forward to that. I can only share so much, you know. So I've been speaking to some really good friends and they were helping me about what I should do. And I'm really grateful to everybody for your ideas and supports and what you do. I wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for you. Um, yeah, the group is amazing. And I hope you can catch up with these just to have a chill time. But yeah, and just playing about with colour sometimes. Just let the colour happen. And, colour like baby poo with purple. It works. So I love you and leave you. And for those of you who are on your own Christmas Day, I'll be around for an hour, half an hour to say hello. And then Boxing Day, I've got 3 hours on Create and Craft. So that should be mad. But I will take my time to say thank you. And you're not on your own on Christmas Day. There's people around. Okay. And we do think the world of you. So bye for now. Hear it. Sorry. Bye now.